Teacher Prix, I'm afraid to speak English. Do you have an idea of what I can do to overcome my fear to stop feeling so afraid to speak English? Yes, I'm gonna give you 3 practical tips that are going to help you if you are afraid to speak English. So stay with me until the end because I know this lesson is the one for you. Hey there, I'm Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because every week there is a new lesson to help you on your journey to fluency so that you feel more confident speaking in English. Yes, that's my goal. So please consider subscribing. I have more than 700 different lessons to help you. If you have already done so, thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here. Make sure to hit the like button. Now you are part of the gang. You're part of this community. So I'm happy to have you here, okay? Now, guys, how to overcome your fear of speaking English. Oh my God, teacher, my brain is on fire. What do I do? Okay? And I am going to tell you a few things you need to do. My necklace keeps falling all the way down. Anyway, if you're watching this lesson, it's 100% in English. So you are not a complete beginner anymore. Here on my channel, I help pre-intermediate students, intermediate students who can understand English, but maybe when it's time to speak, they don't do a very good job. They feel afraid, they get stuck, they don't remember the words, they don't have a good vocabulary, their listening needs work. So these are the students that I help. And I like to call this level the transition level, okay? You are in transition. You are not a basic anymore, but you don't know who you are. You are at a transition level. And these are the people I help. I've been helping people like this for a very long time, more than 15 years, okay? Now, guys, important thing. This is when you begin to speak a little, okay? This is usually the moment when you can make some phrases. You speak a little, but it's difficult. And here what happens. You are going to feel a lot of pressure. Yes, you feel under pressure, and in many situations you are creating this in your mind, okay? You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And then this pressure becomes fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of being misunderstood, fear of not understanding, fear of looking stupid, fear of not doing a good job, fear. Do you have any of these fears? Let me know in the comments, okay? Let me know. I have many videos here on my channel that talk about different subjects connected with fear. Because in my methodology, I combine language and the brain, the emotions, because one needs the other. You need language strategies, and I have many English lessons to teach vocabulary, study tips. Yes, I have a lot of them. But I also focus on brain activities. We talk about strategies because if you don't have good emotions, if you don't know how to manage your emotions, you get stuck, okay? Now, the first tip that I'm going to give you is, you can see here on the screen, this animal is called the eagle, okay? It's a kind of bird, eagle. And what are eagles what are eagles good at? Eagles, I have an eagle here. Why do I have an eagle? I have an eagle at home because I like to remind myself every day to have the focus of the eagle. So I have one myself because I like to think of that. Because what happens? The eagle focuses on what it has to do. Flying high and paying attention because it's what they do. They need to pay attention, okay? If they're not careful, they die. It's true. It's life. It's nature. And unfortunately, students who are afraid to speak, they don't focus on speaking. They focus on this mental dialogue, okay? They have this conversation in their mind that is telling them, oh my God, you're horrible, you're terrible, you cannot speak, oh, this is so difficult, and you change your focus. So the first tip that I give you is work on your focus. My students from the academy, if you're watching this and you have this problem, do the activity, the brain activity that I give you guys inside the academy, that is to help you focus, to help you become more focused. I have this. Check it out, okay? Now, egos don't focus on what they cannot change. They focus on what they want. What do you want? Teacher, I want to talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. So you focus on the mission and what you need to do to get that done. That's what you're going to focus on, okay? Not on, oh my God, but what if? Forget that. Focus on what you can do, not on what you can't change, okay? Fear will paralyze you. You need to change your focus. Focus on the results you want, not on what you think could happen. And this is why students are paralyzed by fear, because they start thinking of what could possibly happen. And because of that, they don't talk. I know many people who don't have the courage to try a job interview, to try a conversation in English, to make a presentation in English at work, because they create a possible scenario in their head. And that imagination, that thing they are imagining, blocks their English, makes them paralyzed, okay? So watch out. That's very dangerous. And how are you going to do that? As I'm already giving you the recommendation, you're going to be like the eagle, okay? Stop focusing on possible outcomes. Outcome is a synonym for results, okay? Outcome, result. Stop focusing on possible, dramatic, sad results. If you do that, you are not going to speak. And you could go to Harvard like I did. You could live abroad like I did. You could have private teachers like I know many students try this. But if you don't change this, it's not going to work, okay? You could have all the money in the world. If you don't change this in the mind, it's not going to work. So stop focusing on that, because this is feeding. What is feeding? Is to give food, okay? To give food. Yum, yum, yum. Babies, we need to help the babies. So we feed the babies. We give food in their mouth. We put it in there, okay? We feed. So we need to stop feeding the fear, the imagination. And how do we feed the fear? By thinking, by using our imagination the worst possible way. So fear comes from imagining. Stop imagining the worst case scenario or imagining the worst possible things. And guys, on a side note, this is not my focus. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. I'm a master practitioner of NLP and a professional coach. And a lot of anxiety attacks, like panic attacks, they come from imagination. It comes from the mind because you are in perfect condition, healthily speaking, okay? But your mind is going so far in a future that doesn't exist, that you paralyze your body. And many people get stuck in this imaginary reality that they cannot escape. And in many cases, it's so severe, they need medication to get better. And of course, that here it's not the same level, okay? But I strongly recommend working on what you're thinking of, okay? Stay active. I stay active. When I feel like, oh, I'm getting a little upset, I'm getting a little anxious, I change my body, my physiology. I focus on what I can do, not on what I can't change. And usually when we imagine bad things, these are things we cannot control. Okay? And this will feed the fear, and it'll paralyze you. And no matter how much money you spend on courses, books, or travels, you will not get better, okay? And this is something that I do with my BSA. And I love using Tony Robbins as an example. And actually, I recommend using Tony Robbins. Watch his videos. They're free. Go on the internet. Watch his videos. He talks a lot about this. Where focus goes, energy flows. So if you focus on something bad, all your energy is going to that bad thing. You will not speak English if you focus on something negative, okay? No matter how hard you study, okay? And with my students, I use NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming Exercises. because we need to work on emotions, on the mind. We need to change the focus. They have all the English lessons, of course. They need to study English, yes. But they also have NLP. Because my students, what I teach my students, and I am teaching you now because you subscribe to my channel, you are participating, you are sharing this lesson with your friends to help the channel. You need to understand that you need to change the internal conversation, the internal dialogue. What you constantly tell yourself becomes your reality. What you constantly tell yourself becomes your reality. What reality do you want for yourself? Think about that, okay? Now, as usual, you really support the channel. I know I repeat this a few times, but it's because I need your help, okay? When I repeat this again and again, it's because it's how you can help me. You can help me by subscribing, by being a member here, actively participating in the lessons, in the comments. Sharing this lesson helps a lot because then YouTube understands that, hey, she's nice, she's helping people, so I'm gonna help her. So this is your job, you know. If there is one thing you could do for me is this combo, like subscribing and sharing, because they are the best things you can do. If you want to support me financially, I created a study plan that is awesome. It is going to help you organize your study routine. I definitely recommend. If you need to improve your listening skills, I have another these are short courses that are very efficient and will definitely help if you need more organization, okay? My academy is different. It's not this, but these guys are really fun and really interesting. But here we go. The second thing, okay, follow a good study plan. As I always tell my students, we work on the emotions. The first recommendation was emotion, understanding the mind, okay? The second and the third will change a little because we also need to think of English. You need to study, okay? You will only overcome your fear if you change your actions. You need to change your actions. There's no other way. And we need to get down to the root. And the root is the study plan, the method you follow. So you may not be afraid of speaking English. Maybe your fear may actually be of being judged. What people will think of your mistakes, of the grammar mistakes you make, the pronunciation mistakes you make, the vocabulary mistakes you make. So how can we reduce the fear? How can we overcome the fear in this scenario? By changing how we study, by being more efficient with the way we study. So this is something that we can do that will gradually help you reduce your fear of speaking in English, because you will gradually improve your English. And this is a good thing about it. So we work on emotions, but we also work on the English, because if you don't work on the combo, you don't get better. So this is something that if you consistently study and work on the mistakes you make, you will gradually feel more confident. Guys, fear will be reduced when you feel more confident. And confidence comes when we have small victories, small wins. So when you have a good study plan, you will start to have better results, okay? Oops, excuse me. Oh no, it's the next. Now, number 3. Practice speaking, and there's a spelling mistake in speaking. Let's see if I can correct this right now. Right meow, okay? I have this guy that I follow on YouTube. He's so fun. He's American, and he sometimes, oh, let me help you write meow. It is so fun. I have great fun sometimes listening to him, like, oh, you need to change this, right meow, because he likes cats, okay? I'm not a big fan of cats, but it's hilarious. Right meow, okay? So you need to practice speaking in front of a mirror. Mirror, mirror. And why the mirror? Here, I'm combining a little bit of psychology, a little bit of emotions, plus English speaking, plus studying. And looking at the mirror for some people is uncomfortable. Not because of the appearance. Oh, I look amazing. Mwah. No, not because of that. But because you feel uncomfortable speaking English. You need to be comfortable speaking in English. You need to like your English. You need to like the sound of your voice speaking in English because it changes. So you need to become comfortable in your skin, okay? Be comfortable in your own skin. So this is a good exercise. So here we will involve speaking in English and doing this acceptance of your image, of your voice. Look at yourself. Look into your own eyes, okay? And make that change. So while you speak, look at yourself and celebrate that moment. Look into your own eyes and celebrate the fact you are speaking. Accepting your accent, your mistakes, will make you feel more confident when you have to talk to people. Guys, confidence comes from within, okay? But teacher, in a more technical way, how am I going to speak? I just start speaking? No, I will give you some guidance, okay? I want you to go to Google and you will type this, conversation questions in English. And then you will see many results, okay? Many different results. And then what I want you to do is I want you to pick 2 to 3 questions. And you are going to look at the mirror and you are going to speak for 30 seconds to 1 minute. 30 seconds to 1 minute. And you answer speaking in English. Whatever comes to your mind, you answer the question. Oh, I was practicing this in Italian today. And the question that I chose was, what is the perfect day for you? What do you do on your perfect day? And then I was like, oh, I do this, I do that, and then I go there, and then I do this. And that's it. And I accept. Oh, I made a mistake. No problems. Oh, I forgot this word. No problems. But I'm trying. I'm working. I'm making small progress. I'm having a small win. I spoke a little today. And that's what you should keep in mind. This will gradually help you on your journey to English fluency and overcoming your fear. Now, guys, if you're watching this on the day it was released, on the week it was released, on January 16th, there is a nice workshop happening that will give you even more tools if you want to go from stuck to speaking over the next 6 months. Make sure to participate, okay? But other than that, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for participating. Share this lesson with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.